I love to play soccer. I love to play tennis.
I do love plants. I have a lot of plants in my house. You can see one of them behind me.
Hey everyone, my name is Edwin Carmona Cruz. I'm the co-executive director at the California Collaborative for Immigrant Justice, and I currently live in Azusa, California, where I was born and raised. AZ in the USA.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Knox. I live in Oakland, California. And one of my favorite things to do is to take advantage of all the green space in Oakland. A lot of people don't know this, but there's actually redwood forest about 5 minutes from my house in the Oakland Hills that I love to go to.
My favorite food has to be my mom's, specifically her chile rellenos.
I'm also trying to grow my own food, experimenting and starting with tomatoes, and we'll see from there.
In 2006, when there was nationwide walkouts, I got a detention for organizing walkouts in my middle school, and I remember sitting in the counselor's office crying, being like, I can't have a detention on my record, like please, I can't do that. But all in all, there's so many individuals that participated in the walkouts, and the administration ultimately ended up dismissing all of them. So I guess, and now I do that for a living, so I guess it wasn't that bad. I didn't get too much in trouble.
And I'm probably the only person I know who's never had a real pet. The only pet I was allowed to have as a kid was a goldfish that died within 5 minutes of getting to my house. And so since then, I've just sworn off having pets.
An experience that has really impacted me while working at CCIJ and being part of this really incredible team has been, and still is, working directly with Carlos Sauceda. Carlos Sauceda is a fierce advocate, a fierce organizer, just an incredible human being. And what his story reminds me, and it really makes me focus in this work, is the fact that you can do everything right in terms of rehabilitation, in terms of education, in terms of winning your case in immigration court, not just one time, 3 times, and the system can still dispose of you. And that reminds me that, we have to change, we have to organize, we have to push in order to make sure that we can reunite someone like Carlos back with his family here in Southern California.
I'm from an African American and a Latino immigrant family. And so growing up in both of those communities, I saw the impact that the criminal legal system and the deportation and detention system had. And I saw that both of those systems were really 2 sides of the same coin, right? They were both coming into our community, terrorizing and kidnapping our community members. I think as lawyers, we're often told that the law is somehow going to save us, that the law is a path toward radical social change. But we know that the law can also be a tool that's used to uphold systems of oppression.
I think when we have this partnership, right, community legal partnership, but also being accountable to the people on the inside, we have to come together and approach a problem jointly and strategize jointly and ensure that whatever tools that we can bring on the outside, inside, is something that is accessible to folks on the inside, so we come to the solution together. And that's what I think leadership at an organization that's accountable to people on the inside, what that really means.
I'm really excited for the opportunity to co-lead CCIJ with Edwin. I think it's really important that as an organization, we actually live out our values. So one of our values, right, is that not privileging legal services and attorneys, but also recognizing that there are other important tools. So I think by having Edwin, who has a background as an advocate and an organizer, along with myself with a legal background, we're really putting that into place.
Immigration and immigrant rights and immigration detention is not just a singular issue. These are issues of public health and public safety. These are issues of workers' rights, right? People on the inside who are working up to 8 hours a day, earning $1 a day. I think that in this next era at CCIJ is really deepening those relationships and ensuring that people on the inside can continue to hold and lead and the charge towards individual and collective liberation.